Hey everybody, it's Ed back with another Clip Studio tutorial. Today I am going to talk about how to preview your work while you're working on it. This is more of a digital painting thing maybe, or a coloring thing, than it is a comics specific thing, but it's useful nonetheless. So the basic idea is here is if I'm working on something like this and I need to get in really close and, I don't know, look at a bicep or something, right, just to see how that's working, and I'm like sitting here rendering this, and I don't know how it looks relative to the overall picture because I'm zoomed in really close, right? So there's a couple ways that you can do that in Clip Studio. There's sort of the typical way that you can do it, and then maybe the way that might be a little less fully featured, but I find works better for me. So this setup's going to look different for you. Obviously, I have a custom workspace saved, so you might already see this, but what you need to do is you need to go to Window and then go down to Navigator. What the Navigator will do is it will show you this little guy here, and you can kind of move around the viewfinder to see where you are, and you can zoom in. Just kind of lets you know like what you're seeing at each point. You can do things like you can flip horizontal on your image, you can flip vertical on your image, and do all kinds of stuff. Just sort of like a control panel for this, including things like rotation. Okay, this is great, and it's really fully functioning and everything like that. And so, you know, maybe if I were really wanted to keep it, I might take it over here and throw it on this side. I kind of just don't like seeing all the extra crap, and I like to have my tools here, my layer palette and my color palette. So what I just do is I go to Window, Canvas, New Window, and that'll open up a second window, and you can drag it from the docked part here, and you can move it over to the side until you see it turn red and then let go. And then from there, if you go to View, you can do Fit to Navigator, and you can zoom it up or down however you want, you know, however much space you want it to take up, so that when I'm in the main tab here, zooming in and out, it stays like that. That's just a good overall, you know, thing. So now if I'm going here and I just wanted to like throw down some brown patch on this grass or whatever, it'll show up on that, and I can see it in both places. Very useful, especially if you put a lot of work in, you got a lot of layers going, that sort of thing. The one thing that I don't know how to do in here that I think you can do in Photoshop, and is what was inspired. This was sort of inspired by a video I saw doing this in Photoshop, is have like a grayscale preview. So what would be awesome is if you could have a grayscale preview over here, and then you could see this in color, and that would allow you to see the values without any of the color, to see if you've got good contrast in your image. And you can do that in Photoshop, but as far as I can tell, you can't do that in Clip Studio. If you know how to do that, let me know in the comments, but here's a quick way to kind of fake that. So go to the topmost layer here, go to Layer, New Correction Layer, and go to the HSL, so Hue, Saturation, Luminosity, and then just drag your saturation all the way down, click OK. That'll put that on the top. So as long as it's on the top and I don't put it like, say, here under this color overlay, right? I gotta have it hit everything in the image. Then I can toggle that on and off here to see it in both circumstances. And if you really wanted to, you could record an auto action and map it to a key, so that you could just always hit, you know, I don't know, some not often used key to flip back and forth without having to click the eye. That might be useful if you use a lot of keyboard shortcuts. So like I said, you know, different people, different preferences. There's a couple different ways to do it. If you have any other interesting ways to view your work or to look at it, let me know in the comments, and be sure to like, subscribe, hit the button, all that stuff, and I will see you on the next video.